What's an HOA fee? What does it pay for? And why do you have to pay it? We'll find out all that and more today. Hello! Today we're going to be discussing condo fees, also known as HOA fees. What does HOA stand for? That's Homeowners Association. A homeowners association is made up of all the people who own condos within a particular complex. HOA fees typically go toward paying things like building maintenance, master insurance, recreation, which could include anything from tennis courts to swimming pools to fitness centers, and utilities, which can sometimes include things like heat and hot water. Look, I know the shower guy was weird, but can we just go back to the people at the fitness center for a second?
Okay, Daddy.
Two of these guys aren't even wearing shirts, and I don't see a sleeve on anyone. There's definitely some kind of HOA rule violation going on here. Oh, I didn't mention that yet. Every homeowners association has their own set of rules that you have to follow, or else you could be fined. Let's get back on track for a second. So, before you buy a property that has a homeowners association, you'll want to find out exactly what that covers. It could vary quite a bit, and you don't want unexpected monthly expenses to pop up after you've bought the property.
Who's in charge?
Typically, a homeowners association is run by a board of directors. Now, if you're picturing a bunch of strangers in suits and ties that you've never met before, that's not exactly right. These are actually going to be people that live in your complex with you. They're elected typically on an annual basis, and they run the meetings to determine how the funds for the condo are going to be spent.
What other expenses are there?
Part of your HOA will go toward what's called a reserve fund. A very boring but very necessary expense. The reserve fund can go toward things like fixing the roof, or replacing the carpet in a common area in the building, or painting the exterior of the building. Very boring, I warned you. Basically, it's going to pay for things that might fall into a category that you'd call long-term maintenance. Things that have to be replaced eventually, but not regularly. It's one of the perks of being part of a homeowners association. You pay the monthly fee and they handle all of that for you. That is, unless there aren't enough funds in the reserve and they can handle it for you. If there's a big project that needs to happen and it can't be funded between the current condo fees and the reserve fund, then your HOA might have to issue what's called a special assessment. Did you get anything good today? Yes, I got a special assessment. Well, that sounds wonderful. There is nothing great or special about a special assessment. I recently lived in a condo building that had to have the elevators almost completely renovated. Turns out elevators are very expensive. I mean, more than your student loan's expensive. So what happens is, they figure out the amount of the project, divided by the number of tenants in the building, and then figure out how long it's going to take all those tenants to pay off that particular project. And that gets tacked on top of your monthly homeowners association fee. It can be very pricey, and it's important to find out before buying whether there are special assessments coming up in the property you're looking at.
Come on, Brian. Do I have to pay?
And when it comes to paying your HOA fees, I cannot tell you how important this is. In fact, before you can sell your property, you need to produce what's called a 6D certificate. And the 6D certificate tells the prospective buyer that you are all paid up on your HOA fees. If you can't produce this, then you cannot sell your property. In fact, one of your first orders of business upon moving into the condo should be setting up an auto pay so you never have to remember to pay your condo fee. You do not want to fall behind. Now let's hit the music. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.